So we back again, and in this video we're gonna be looking at some soca bass rhythms. So as I said, in this video we're gonna be looking at some soca bass rhythms. We continuing from the last bass grooves video that we did, but just focusing strictly on some soca rhythms. Because when we listen to bass lines, most of the time they tend to be repetitive. So if you just have a rhythm, most of the time you would get a rhythm, and you would just displace that rhythm over the different chord changes. Whether it's that you playing solely root notes, you add in the 1 and 5, you playing chord tones. So we need demoing two bass rhythms. We can go through them separately, and then I can show you could combine both of them together to create a bass line. So the first rhythm is actually one from the last video that we did, and it is this right here. And let me just get my little drum groove so we can play it to time. So we have so this is our rhythm right here. 1, 2, and 1, 2, and. So that's essentially the shell of the rhythm. So what we can do now, we can displace that rhythm over a chord progression. We can go into key of C and we can play a 2, 4, 6, 5 chord progression. So those chords will be D minor, F major, A minor, and G major. So we can start off just playing root notes. So that's the shell of the rhythm. So what you can do to like give it a little more life, instead of playing all the notes on the root note, we can add in the fifth. So instead of going, we can go 1, 2, and. So same rhythm, we keeping the same note values. The only thing that changing is like where we put in those note values essentially. So it would sound like this. So that's pretty much it. We just took the same rhythm and we just displacing it over the different chord changes. So what I can do before I can go to the next rhythm and I can do what I was planning to do there last. So the next rhythm that we can look at can be this. And go back and get my drum groove. Just that. Rest. Right, so that's the shell of the rhythm. And what I can do is the same thing that I did with the first rhythm. Go over the same chord progression of 2, 4, 6, 5. And then from there now, instead of playing everything on the root note, I can add in the fifth. So similar to the first rhythm, how we played the first time on the root notes got a different, like slightly different feel and song to how it sounds when we add in the fifth degree. Bear in mind it's still the same rhythm. We're just taking the note values and just changing where we put in them. And with this one we can do something slightly different than what we did in the first one. So instead of just doing the 1 and 5, we can actually play arpeggiate the chord tones. So for that D minor, we'll go D F A. For the F major, F A C. The A minor, A C E, and then the G major, G B and D. So you have one more thing. Right. So there, that was three different variations of playing the same rhythm. The first example we just played the root notes. The second one we went 1 and 5, and then that last one just now we went through playing the chord tones, and each of them have sort of a different song. So what you could do sometimes is you could actually mix your bass line using a combination of those. So for example, now I can play through an example where I use that same pattern, but I'm not gonna always play on the root note. I'm not gonna always play the 1 and 5, or I'm not gonna always play the chord tones. Huh? So right there in that example, I was alternating between 1 and 5, and then the chord tone. So I can do another example where I just switch it around. So I can start with a chord tone and then go to 1 and 5. Right. So there, as I said, you got like countless possibilities with your rhythms, and it's not something that is like right or wrong. There's not even something that I would say perfect. I don't think anybody can actually perfect this, because it's something that you just have to experiment with until you find what you like. And it could be a little subjective because it's not necessarily a right or wrong way to do it. Like my recommendation would be to just take that rhythm and just exhaust it to find all the possible ways that you could um, play a groove, play a song. Just pick some chord progressions and just take that rhythm and apply it to the different chord progressions. So the last thing that I can do before we start to wrap up this video is show you how you could combine two of those rhythms to create a bass line. So I could decide that for one bar, I might play my first rhythm, and the next bar, I might use my second rhythm. And you would get something sounding like this. So we got and we can go through the whole chord progression just with the root notes at first. And now I can do the same thing, but we can add in like the 1 and 5 and then some chord tones. Right, so there, that was an example of taking part of the first, well, taking one bar of the first rhythm and putting it next to one bar of the second rhythm to create that bass line that we had just now. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. You can also DM the Instagram page. I got all the socials listed in the description of this video. So that's pretty much for today's video on, well, there's gonna be a part two to this video, but that was all for the part one. We went through the first rhythm, which we had, and then the second rhythm, and as I said, you could do root 1 and 5, adding your cartoons or anything else that you think might sound good. But that's it for today. So we signing out. So until next time, whenever that may be.